Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Beautifully Nerding. I am Bri, and I'm so happy that you all are here. I am ready for a new year of watching more movies and catching up on my missed out childhood. At some point last year, I had talked about how a friend of mine suggested that I make a picker wheel to figure out which black classic I should do, and I did that. So we're gonna let the picker wheel pick what I watch instead of me just being like, what do I have access to? We're gonna actually randomize what it is that I'm gonna be watching. So I went on IMDb and found a list of like 100 of the best black film. I don't know how the rating system was, but I just like went through it and picked like 25 and put them on a wheel. I'm pretty sure that like some of these I have to have seen, cuz like I feel like I don't know, but I don't have enough of a memory of the things to be like, yeah, this is what happened and here's the major plot points. I don't know. So we're gonna randomize it and we're gonna see what happens. I'm so nervous. Oh my gosh. Okay, listen. Oh, I was like what's happening? I should have practiced this.
One eternity later.
It's still going. That took so long. Okay, so Harlem Nights it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go watch Harlem Nights and I'll be right back so we can talk about it. So if you're like me and haven't actually seen Harlem Nights, it came out in 1989, stars Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, written by Eddie Murphy, produced by Eddie Murphy. Like, okay, man, we get it. Like, we get you wrote the blueprint so Tyler Perry could run. Like, okay, we get it. So the movie is about two battling speakeasies in Prohibition, New York, and the owner of the Pity Pat Club is working to get the Sugar Ray Club shut down. But of course, chaos ensues. So it has a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it has an 80% audience score. So that let me know that I was in for a wild ride, because that is a vast difference, okay? Like, the critics felt one way, but everyone else feels a completely different way. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure, let's do it. And then plus, I've always thought that young Eddie was so handsome. So I was like, okay, let's just see what else going on. Let's watch Harlem Nights. So we start in 1918 Harlem with a baby Quick running through the streets. And you can tell he's not running from anything because there's like zero pep in his step. So it's like, okay, like where is he going to? And he is running an errand for Ray. And he goes back to the speakeasy, goes through the back room where they are shooting craps. And there's a guy who is not comfortable around kids. He's like, hey, get this kid out of here. They're bad luck. He gonna make me mess up. Get this kid out of here. And Ray is like, you see that name on the bar? You see how that's my name? Okay, I can have whoever I want in here. I want him in here. Now shoot the craps. So the guy's like, but I bet not miss, which of course he does anyway. And so the guy blames it on the fact that Quick is there. And he's like, well, Ray, this is your fault. You better give me my money back. And Ray's like, you're just not that good. And so homie decides he's gonna pull a blade on Ray and is like, I told you, give me my money back. And then since you didn't want to listen, give me all the money that you earned this evening.
You think that's funny, huh? You think that's funny, huh?
Oh, man.
Huh? I told you I couldn't stand kids in the room when I was shooting. They bring me bad luck, but you wouldn't listen, would you?
I'm listening.
Well, listen to this. I want back all the money I lost tonight. And I want back everything you took in. You understand me, you smooth talking son of a...
Ray's trying to reach for his little pew-pew, but Quick had already grabbed it. Quick is like, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. And he over here popped old dude in the forehead. Like, so you are 7. Relax. And everybody just kind of sitting there like, okay, that just happened. And Ray's like, hey, y'all go get big dude out of here. I'm gonna go take him back to his mama. And Quick is like, Mama dead. Okay, I guess I'll take it to your daddy. My daddy dead too. And Ray's like, so who's taking care of you? And Quick is like, nobody. And then Ray's like, oh, well, I guess I'll take you with me then. And then so essentially he adopts Quick. So now we fast forward 20 years and Club Sugar Ray is like the spot, okay? The party is popping, the fellas are dressed down, and the ladies are killing it, okay? Like, this ain't the rinky-dink backroom club from earlier in the movie, okay? I mean, it is still Prohibition time, so it is still technically a back room. So, like, the front room is actually a, like, confectionery shop, because, like, get it? Like, Sugar Ray. You get it. So security comes over to Ray's table and tells him that Tommy Smalls from the Pity Pat Club is there. But all Quick can see is the beautiful woman in the red dress. And I mean, it's Jasmine Guy, so I absolutely get it. So Quick goes over to introduce himself to the group. And I didn't immediately recognize who was playing Mr. Smalls until he started laughing. And I was like, I know that laugh. That sounds like Tommy from Martin. And so I look, and it is. Look who had a job. It didn't exactly end well for him. So Ray can tell that Quick wants him some Miss Dominique Leroux. He tries to be like, hey, bruh, like, that's not what you want. But Quick is like, all I did was say, hey. And so Quick is trying to play it cool and try to be like, I ain't really do nothing. My thing, Ray's thing is like, look, you play dangerous games, you gonna win dangerous prizes. So we jump over to Mr. Calhoun, and him and his gangsters are discussing how the Pity Pat Club has been not doing as well financially, and I think it's a twofold reason. They think one reason is because all the competition is being taken over to Club Sugar Ray, but they also think that Tommy is skimming some money off top. So they're like, all right, cool. So we need to shut down Sugar Ray's, and then we need to take Tommy out of the picture because you brought him in here and now he's stealing my money. I can't handle that. Let him go ain't good enough. We need to remove him from the equation completely. So after Ray is done tallying up at Sugar Ray's, he goes home and he finds Officer Cantone waiting for him in his living room. And Cantone is like, oh, you own the Sugar Ray Club, right? And Ray's like, nah, I own a candy store. I don't know what you're talking about, bruh. But at this point, Cantone done made like 2 racist remarks and he done said the word straight out. And I'm starting to get a little irritated because it's supposed to be based in the 1930s and da-da-da. I don't care. Like, me and period pieces, it's difficult. But yeah, they finish their conversation. Cantone makes a few more vague threats and then he dips. So back at the club, they're having a team meeting and Ray is like, hey, Cantone came over to my house. I don't really know what's going on, but maybe we should think about relocating. And Quick is like, I ain't no punk. I ain't running. And Ray is like, bro, like, use common sense, use logic. Like, let's think this through. But, like, while they're all having this conversation, Ray gets a letter from Miss LaRue. And it's like, hey, come meet me at XYZ place. Ray and Benny are like, hey, bruh, I don't think you should do this. But Quick is like, oh, I'm just going to get some reconnaissance, see if she's still with Calhoun. Like, I'm just going to get the lowdown. Okay, sure, if that's what you say. But before Quick is even able to leave, Cantone stops by and is like, okay, so I heard y'all are bringing in $15K a week. So Calhoun and I think that we should get $10K of that. You want to take 2/3 of my money? Like, how you gonna leave me with $5,000? Like, that don't even make no sense. But pretty much Cantone is like, y'all be sitting over here doing illegal stuff and this, that, and the third. And it's like, you sitting here having this conversation right now is a part of the illegal stuff. So, I mean, honestly, you shouldn't be having these moral dilemmas because you're a criminal too. They're like, oh, like, can we get back to you? And then Cantel's like, I'll get back with you. So the people from Sugar Ray's decide to have a staff meeting and they're like, okay, cool. So what we finna do, because these white boys tripping and we need to go ahead and get out of here because all this stuff that keeps happening is not a coincidence. We're going to make a plan around the big fight that's coming up, and we're going to rob Calhoun, and we're going to get out of town. Now, Quick still don't want to run, but he's fully outnumbered at this point, and everyone else is like, this is the best decision. This is what we're going to do. And then, while they're talking, I hear a very familiar voice. And I look up, and I'm like, I know that's not who I think it is. And I'm like, scanning. I'm like, where is that voice coming from? And I look, and it's fine ass Charlie Murphy. Like, I know I said that Eddie looked good when he was younger, but like, to me, in my opinion, Charlie Murphy was always fine. And that's just my opinion. Y'all can disagree. I know people often disagree with people who I think are attractive. I don't care. My opinions are mine. Ray tells Quick to go find Tommy because they think that he's probably the type of person who will give them the information on Calhoun. Before Quick can even get there, Officer Cantone finds Tommy, and him and one of Calhoun's goons take him upstairs and make him a memory. So after Cantone leaves Tommy, he goes back to Calhoun and says that, hey, the folks at Club Sugar Ray's are betting on the fight. Calhoun is like, oh, they're probably trying to get some money before, they have to close because we told them to. And they're like, yeah, I'm sure that that's probably an idea, but they're putting all of their money on the other dude instead of their friend, who everyone knows that Jake is gonna win this fight, but they put all their money on the other fighter. Calhoun is like, oh, they probably told Jake to throw the fight so they can get some money. Let's put our money on him as well. And they're playing directly into the plan that's being created. So Quick tries to go talk to Tommy, but he instead finds the aftermath of Officer Cantone's visit. And then as he's leaving, Tommy's brother is outside and it's like, hey, what's Quick doing at my brother's house? They go upstairs, they see what happened. I guess they got there after Cantone left, so they didn't see him. All they saw was Quick come out and go up to their brother's apartment, and they saw he was dead. And they was like, oh no, Quick killed my brother. We gotta do something about it. So Quick finally gets to his date with Dominique, and it's actually with Calhoun and I guess his accountant. And Calhoun is trying to get some information about Quick, about like how the club is doing and all that. When Quick doesn't fold, he's like, okay, well, you can just come work for the Pity Pat. Like, you know your people better than anyone. You can help make the club great. My people. Like, I don't like how you talking to me right now. And then even Dominique is like, it would benefit all of us if you consider. Miss Ma'am, but please. And so Quick is not here for any of it. Now he's upset because Dominique hurt his pride, and he's just like, I'm out. But Calhoun is like, hey, yo, Dominique, do you want that? And she like, yeah. And he like, I bet. What are y'all talking about? Like, because my thing is like, I thought that was your girl. Like, why is this discussion happening like this? I'm not understanding. But of course, it's all a ploy. We'll get to that. So back outside, Tommy's brother and his friends are waiting for Quick. And when they see him, they start following him. Quick is like, oh, snap, what's happening? He does some maneuvering and ends up making the guys fire on themselves in the car. And I'm just like, okay, y'all are big dummies. So they end up crashing, and then Quick runs and jumps into a building. And it's so funny because like, I get it that the door was locked, but like the door is so close to the window. And I've watched so many TV shows where like somebody will do something like outrageous, and then the other person will just walk through the door. That's exactly what my mind jumped to. So Quick jumps into the building, and the guys start firing just wildly at the building.
And I know you had something to do with what happened to my brother, Quick. Yo, man, I don't know what you're talking about. That's man. You know what I'm talking about. You broke my nose, man.
So Quick returns 3 shots and catches each one of them. So I guess Quick is Houdini now. Like, he was barely even looking. I don't know how he got 3 shots. Like, movie magic. Suspension of disbelief. Okay, y'all, my bad. I'm back. Oh, goodness gracious. I had to, like, take a break and go to work and do some stuff. Then I was tired because I worked a double, and I was just, like, it was just a lot. I didn't have any energy to come back on here and do this stuff. So I'm doing it now. Here we are. Okay, where are we at? Well, before we start into that, I got some juice. Y'all never told me how good peace teas were. And this is not sponsored or nothing. I bought this with my own money, but, like, I tried the Just Peachy one, and I was like, let me try the raspberry, because I love me some raspberry. Like, raspberry is so good. I love that it's a little tall boy, too. Like, okay. It's not bad. I think I like the peach one better, but the raspberry is not bad. But anyway, back to the movie. Okay, editing Bri here. I'm realizing that I completely forgot an entire scene. I had forgotten where I stopped at, so when I started, I had skipped a scene, but I wanted to go back and talk about this scene because it was one of my favorites in the movie. Dominique calls for Quick so that they can meet. And fortunately for Quick, it is just the two of them. And they talk for all of like 3 minutes. Like, she asks him like what his real name is, and I think it's like Vernest or something like that. And then she's like, I'm finna go upstairs. Would you care to join me? And I'm like, okay. Like, to me, it was giving trap, but he was like, let's go upstairs. So they get in the bed, they have them some grown up fun time. Afterwards, like, they're talking, and Quick is like, oh, let me try to get some information. But Dominique is being like, mad, Dodgy not really answering. And then plus she keeps trying to like reach under her pillow. And we're like, ooh, she trying to do something. She trying to do something. Quick had already peeped what was up under the pillow when she was changing. And so I'm like, okay, so like, did he just take it out? Like, it's not there no more? Like, what's going on?
What about the business?
That you can't trust anybody. Everybody in the business is a criminal. And how can you ever trust a criminal?
You're supposed to kill me.
Yes. I'm sorry, Ernest. It's only business.
So yeah, Dominique is able to get her pearl handle out and admits that she's supposed to remove him from the equation. But Quick already took the bullets out, and then he flips the script on her because he did the same thing, but under his child. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, back to the video. So back at the club, Cantone and his goon officers come and shut down the spot and round everybody up. He takes Ray and Jake back into the back. Cantone is asking about Quick, but at the same time he's making jokes about Jake and his stutter. And it's like, you are literally talking to the heavyweight champion of the world. Like, he couldn't whoop your butt if he wanted to. But this is also the 30s, and he's a black man, as the white cop, so you know he can't. And so I was like, ooh. Jake has to swallow all that down, don't do nothing, and just kind of standing there and being like, if I wanted to, I could. But Cantone doesn't get the answers he wants, so he leaves. And then Ray and Jake are leaving, and he gets Jake a taxi. But Calhoun is waiting for Ray to ask him some more questions and be like, hey, bro, like, I need to know where Quick is. Like, y'all making this difficult for me. And Ray's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then Calhoun makes some more racist threats and comments and all that good stuff. And it's just like, whew, all right. So Ray goes to bail everybody out of jail. And then he, Vera, and Benny go to Benny's house. And that's actually where Quick has been this whole time. And they're getting their plan together. Because, you know, they already had the idea of, like, we going to use the fight as you know, as a way to finesse it. But now they're like, okay, let's get the plan together. So there's also a side story of one of Vera's girls. Her name is Sunshine, and she's played by Lela Rochon. And you can tell that, like, the 80s and 90s, like, Lela Rochon was that girl, okay? Essentially, Vera says that her name is Sunshine because her lady parts are so good that if you threw it up into the air, it would turn into sunshine. That's the nice way of saying it. Miss Vera has different words that she says that I can't put on YouTube. But Sunshine is true to her namesake because she's finessed the pickup guy so good that he done called his wife and told her that he ain't coming back home.
Richie, I think I'm falling in love with you.
Yeah, give me Holly Court, 55377. Hello, it's Daddy. Hey, darling, put Mommy on the phone. Yeah, Barbara, it's Richie. Yeah, look, I ain't never coming home no more. Take it easy.
But she's able to be like, I know that we're both busy during the fight at this time, but you should come and pick me up and we could go, you know, somewhere else and do something because I think I'm falling in love with you. Like, and the fact that he fell for, like, y'all just met like 2 days ago. But what's not funny is back at Sugar's, Calhoun has had the club burned down. Ray is standing inside of it and it's just like in shambles. It looks so bad. And now I'm really, really rooting for the scam. Like, I was already rooting for the plan and for the finesse and for the scam, all of it. But this right here let me know that, like, oh yeah, no, y'all need to do whatever it is that you need to do to get back what's yours. Because literally just looking at Ray standing in that club and just having the feelings of like, I've worked so hard to build this up. This person just came in with the entitlement of, you don't deserve this because I do. and taking it away from him. Like, you can literally just see it all on his face. And it made me so mad and so sad because this is what people were realistically dealing with. Like, black people were legitimately just trying to make a way out of literally no way. And then white people just came along and were like, I don't feel like you deserve it because I feel like I deserve it more. And that means you can't have any. And just tearing down what was built up. And I just really got in my feelings at that part. How far have we actually come? Anyway, back to the movie. So it's fight night. And Jake is, I don't even remember the other dude's name. Some Italian dude. Jake is lighting him up though. Like, everybody knew he would. Jake is winning. And we're kind of getting more of the plans in different pieces. So over at the Pity Pat, Ray's guys walk in while the club is like, booming and popping because everybody's there, probably listening to the fight. They start pop, 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 pop. Everybody runs out because you don't actually want casualties what's about to happen next because they set off a boom in the club. And I was like, oh snap, like what's really happening? Because I'm telling you, when chaos ensues, it ensues. And the movies all happen so fast. On the other side, we see Richie, who has went to the pickup location. He's getting his bag of stuff to go take to Calhoun, and he goes and stops to pick up Sunshine. But as they're leaving, we see Charlie Murphy, who with a little like switch that works the traffic light. So he changes the traffic light and causes Richie and Sunshine to get into an accident, and Ray and Quick are the responding officers. And I'm like, first of all, the fact that there are 2 black officers in 1930, I was like, I don't know how believable that is, but sure, let's go with it. They go to the back and grab one of the bags. We see in the cut that Cantone is like watching the whole thing, and he's like, I don't quite know what's happening. Let me fill out the scene real quick. 2 other officers come, and it's 2 white men at this time. And they're like, what are you doing? Da 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 da. Like, hush boy, we got it from here. And I'm just like, bro, what? What Ray and Quick were trying to do was arrest Richie. But then the other officers come and they're like, oh, Richie, you work for Calhoun? Okay, you're good to go. We're going to take Sunshine because Ray and Quick were saying that Sunshine was like a big time, like, candy dealer. So the 2 officers took Sunshine and the bag that was left in the trunk and took her off. And I was like, I'm assuming this is part of the plan, but I'm still confused. So Ray and Quick get back in the car and they leave that scene, and then they drive to an like old abandoned closed down bank, and Cantone is on their trail. Like, he's following them like, what are y'all doing? So they go inside and Cantone follows them, and it's like, oh, like, you think you're so smart. Y'all think y'all all this and that. Criminals never prosper. That's why the cops are the good guys, da 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 da. And then he was like, but what I can't understand is why you would come to a bank that's been closed for 5 years. Ray and Quick are like, exactly. The rest of the gang pulls up and pulls their pew-pews on Cantone, and they lock him in the vault. And they're like, we'll call somebody for you on Monday. You should be good with a couple of days of air, just make sure you don't make too many deep breaths so you don't ruin it. And then the funny part that got me is that, like, he was trying to look at them sideways and be like, man, it's whatever, I ain't scared. As soon as the door closed, he was making a little short breaths. I was like, bro, you gonna pass out breathing like that. Like, just breathe regularly. So back on the other side again, Richie gets back to Calhoun, and Calhoun is pretty much just like, even though all this crazy stuff is happening, as long as I got my money, I think I should be okay. So then Richie goes to dump the bag on the table, and it's like these like wrapped up white packages, and I'm like, oh, that looks like candy. Calhoun is like, what is this? And Richie's like, okay, so see, what had happened was I met this girl, and she was literally all that in a bag of chips, and I fell in love, and we gonna run away together. But she had gotten popped by the cops. They took her, so I was like, I'm gonna bring you your money because that was my job the whole time. Calhoun is like, I don't know what you're talking about, but let's check and see if this candy checks out. So they check it, and it's actual sugar. Calhoun knows immediately that it's from Ray. So then Vera comes in, like, I don't know, she must have like followed Richie and was like waiting for like word, because she was there so quick. And she came in and she was like, "Oh, sir, I don't want no more fighting. I just want this to stop. They said they was gonna kill me, but I'm gonna come over here and talk to y'all because da 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 da." And I'm just like, what is happening? Again, still under the knowledge that this is all a part of the plan. But I'm just like, you know how sometimes in like the Ocean's 11, like you'll get like a little bit of the plan, but like we got no parts of the plan. And so I'm just like, is this a part of the plan? Is this a part of the plan? Like, I don't know. Mr. Calhoun's like, "Oh, I'll take care of you. I'll get her something to drink, da 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 da." And Calhoun is like, "Do you know where Ray and Quick are?" She's like, "Oh, they went to Ray's place." So then Calhoun rounds up the squad and it's like, "Hey, let's go over to Ray's spot." They all go over there. They mad deep and they looking for him. But of course, Ray ain't there. Quick ain't there. Like, I do that. Calhoun goes to light one of his cigars and he's been smoking the entire movie. And I peeped that the cigars were foreshadowing. I just wasn't for sure what it was. So as soon as he lit that cigar, I was like, "Oh, gas." Like, that's what's happening. Ray turned up all the gas to the max and knew that Calhoun was probably gonna light that cigar and was like, y'all could take care of yourselves. So when they got there, they saw Cantone's like police hat and his badge or whatever. And that's when they were like, "Oh snap, this is a trap." And as they went to leave, the whole sciencey thing of like backdrafts and letting air into stuff or whatever, the house explodes. So they're done. We go across the river. We see our friends all together, all happy, and our friends are ready to take on the next city. They got a full tank of gas and a truck full of cash, and they are about to take wherever they go next by storm. And yeah, that's Harlem Nights. I really enjoyed the movie. I will say a lot of these movies from the like 80s and 90s, I've noticed, have left a lot to be desired in the acting department. Like, I'm not saying that all of them are terrible, but like some of them aren't great. Like, the stories are there. Like, I haven't not liked any of the stories so far, but the acting has made me side-eye real hard. Let me know if y'all have seen Harlem Nights. How did y'all like it? Do you feel that my opinions and my commentary about the movie were accurate? Sound off in the comments below. If you disagree with me, you're entitled to that. Sure. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, all the good things, and stay tuned till next time. Bye.